What an honor to be asked to do this video. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Tyler Jones, and I am a DECA alum. When I was in high school, I was a part of the DECA program, and it was a key driver for why I decided to study business. So if you are part of the DECA program, you can pat yourself on the back. It's a really great thing that you're already interested in your professional development as early as high school. And that drive is only going to be something that propels you as you move on to high school and then to your career afterwards. So one housekeeping item, I am doing this video in one take. I have zero video editing skills. So for that reason, you might see me looking off screen. I'm just reading some notes I prepared ahead of time to make sure that I answer all of your questions. So without further ado, we'll jump into the first question. So what's your role? So I work as a director of business development for Centene Corporation. Centene is a Fortune 25 company that specializes in government-sponsored healthcare. We're the fourth largest health insurer in the United States. We serve one of every 15 Americans and a total of 25.1 million members across the country. In my role, I work on new business opportunities that defend and grow our market share positions across our diverse product portfolio. We track emerging markets and trends. We manage business-to-business customer relationships. We drive new business proposals, and then we'll interface with other leaders within company to bring new products to market. In a nutshell, we're the entrepreneurs of the company. We're the ones who are responsible for growth, and it makes for really interesting work. The next question is, what is the recommended education for my role? A bachelor's degree in business, political science, or economics will get you through the door. A master's degree is preferred, but like any job, when you get out of college, you'll start in an entry-level role, and if it's a good fit, and if you're good at it, you'll have managerial opportunities that start becoming available to you as you get more professional experience underneath your belt. The next question are, what are some highlights of my role? Well, first and foremost, I'm someone that values variety. I don't want to do the same thing every single day. And the great thing about business development is there are a wide spectrum of activities that need to occur in order for us to bring new products to market or to start new businesses. Every day there is a whole host of different problems that need to be solved that are different from the problems that needed to be solved the day before. This is appealing to me because it's challenging and it makes me think. And in my world, that's an important part of my day because it keeps me entertained. The second thing I love my job is that I have a great amount of autonomy. I get to make my own schedule. I get to pick my own assignments as long as it makes sense within a business development context. I get to pick who it is that I hire for my team as I get assigned to new initiatives. And I also get to pick on who I work with cross-functionally, so in other departments within Centene, in order to create value for the different projects that we're working on. And then I would say my favorite thing about my job is that it's really special to watch something go from a seed of an idea, just a tiny idea that we all have in a room somewhere, like, hey, maybe this thing would work, we should go do it. And to watch that evolve into a fully fledged business that employs hundreds of people in local communities and that offers healthcare coverage to the most vulnerable populations who need affordable healthcare coverage the most is a really rewarding thing. And I am passionate about the work because what we're doing is helping people be healthier and we're helping people live longer. And what could be more important than that to spend your time on with your career? The next question are, what are some challenges in your job? Work-life balance is easily the number one challenge of my job. It is not a 40-hour work week. It's closer to 50 hours or even up to 70 hours when I'm traveling. It just comes with the territory. I get to pick what I get to work on, and I have an incredible amount of autonomy. But the trade-off is that I have to work longer, but I'm okay with it as long as I'm interested in the work that I'm doing. I'm okay with the trade-off of having to do it for longer. Another thing that's a challenge in my job is travel. When I first started my role in business development for the first 4 years of my career, I was on the road Monday through Friday. I was flying to different states, and then I would rent cars when I would get into those states. I'd have to drive all over to have face-to-face meetings with key stakeholders and to support different initiatives that we're trying to launch in these local communities. That was really appealing when I first started my job, but the glitter quickly starts to rub off when you realize how hard it is to be away from home, away from your friends, away from your family, away from your support system. It also makes a business development career hard to sustain for a long period of time. Most people either do it earlier in their career or later in their career or both. But there's very few people that will stay in business development for 20, 30 years because most people can't travel for that long. It's too difficult of a feat to do. At some point, you have to live at your home. The next question is, what does a typical day look like? This one's hard to answer because, like I mentioned, no days are really the same. But I'll give it a shot by giving you a framework of how I try to organize my day. So I usually start at around 7:45 in the morning. The first thing I do is I read industry news that are related to different projects that I'm working on. I respond to emails, and then I'll review reports related to various projects and define my objectives for the day before my meetings start. My meeting schedule will typically start at around 9 a.m. Typical morning meetings are reserved for strategy. I'm meeting with other areas within Centene to discuss where different milestones of project objectives are on track or off track. And I'll also meet with members on my team to support their work as needed. These sessions will help determine where we have pain points and why we have those pain points and where we might need some key decisions from some leaders more senior than us in order to move projects back to the right track. After that, I always find time for lunch. So usually by 11:30, I eat lunch like you all, like everybody else, like I've done since grade school. I use lunch to socialize. I like to hang out with my friends and just talk about nothing. That is time that I think is important to do that. After lunch is reserved for what I call performance meetings. So if you're an athlete, think of a performance meeting as game time. These are anything that I have to be on my A game for that will make or break my performance. It could be a presentation to a key customer. It could be a presentation to senior leaders within Centene to get more resources for something. Or I could be serving on a large panel in front of a large audience where I'm representing the company. All of these things, I need to make sure that I am sharp. And for those reasons, I try not to have a whole day full performance meetings and try to limit it to just a few hours. Usually by 4 p.m., those meetings will wind down and I'll focus my attention on relationship building. So this is where I'll have one-on-one time with my superiors, my team members, and other leaders across Centene in order to build out my network and also learn about other developments that happen throughout the day. I close my day with boring, mindless stuff. So like maybe submitting an expense report or registering my approval in systems for something that my team has submitted to me. Basically anything that I think is meaningless and boring, I save for the end of my day so I can knock it all out in a half hour or so. You can think of this stuff as homework. I don't like to do it, but I have to do it. I mean, school never ends in that regard. I don't know what else to say. Occasionally, I'll attend something after work hours. It might be dinner, it might be drinks with a customer, or it could be an event, but that's the exception and not really the rule. Usually I'm done with my workday by around 6 p.m. So thanks so much again for taking the time to hear what I had to talk about today. I will make my contact information available through your classmates that reached out to me.